What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on my Subaru build. If you're new here and you're not really sure what I'm doing, currently I am tearing apart my Subaru RS in order to build it back up to run in stage rally. If you're not really sure what stage rally is, if you're not familiar with it, it's definitely worth a Google, so I definitely check it out. It's a great motorsport. It's not the biggest in America, but in European countries it's huge. So today I've got a lot of little things to do, and it's going to mostly involve just continuing to strip the car. So today is Thursday, and I had to think about that for a minute. Kind of sad. But anyway, my goal is by Monday, since I have a few days off because of the holiday, to get the car at least to the point where I possibly have the main hoop in for the roll cage and some other things done before then. But that's the goal. See if I can actually do it. But to get started on the roll cage, first thing we got to do, remove the windshield, and then I'm probably going to pull the doors off. I'm not really sure yet. Either that or just remove the door cards. Probably be a lot easier if I get those doors out of here because I have a tiny garage, not much room to work in. Headliner out, and then sunroof's going to come out. I'm not going to cut the roof off yet, and by that I mean just the spot welds. I'm not actually going to cut the roof off because I want to be able to reuse it. And after that, I'm going to move on to the rear glass. So I'm probably not going to remove the back window just yet until I absolutely see that I have to remove it, because I have to get at something to fabricate it. I'd prefer not to have to remove that piece of glass because that just adds another step to everything. But I'm definitely going to remove the side windows tonight. That's all I'll probably get done because it's probably already going to be late by the time I finish all that stuff. But after that, the car's pretty much going to be good to start on a roll cage. Obviously, the different areas that I'm going to have to strip paint from, but everything on the inside is pretty much gone except for those few things that I named. So there's just a couple things that are actually in the way. And a pretty exciting thing that just shows how close the roll cage is, I went and picked up metal yesterday. So I went and picked all this stuff up yesterday. It was about $700 worth of metal. I don't think I had enough either. I just kind of did a rough estimate just to get me close, and then as I find out that I wasted a whole bunch from bending bad main hoops, I'm going to buy more. So that'll be fun. But anyway, so it's just a whole bunch of, these are 1 3/4 inch 095 wall DOM. That's the majority of everything that I have here. I have one 24-foot section, 1.5 inch 095 wall, and then some other smaller tubes for some other things that I have to build on the car. And then I've got a whole sheet of 1/8 inch plate. So this is going to make up all my rocker boxes or plinth boxes, cage feet, whatever you want to call them. That's going to make up all that and all the places that the cage is actually going to tie into the chassis, so the strut towers and whatnot. But yeah, you definitely tell that they're going to need quite a bit of prep before they're even ready to be bent or put in there, because they really need to be cleaned, and some of them are kind of pitted. They're not too bad though. It's the only metal supply store around here though, so not really many choices. Alright, so that has been plenty of me running my mouth. I need to actually get to work on this thing. Time's a ticking. Anyway, we're going to try out this $15 Harbor Freight windshield removal kit. See how well this thing works. Yeah, it'll probably not work that well, just like most things from Harbor Freight. Some stuff's good, you know. You just don't buy like power tools or anything like that from there. But yeah, give this a shot. Try to get the windshield out really quick. Move on to the headliner. All right, let's see if we can get this thing to work without being a waste of 15 bucks. So you only want like 2 to 3 feet of this. It's just enough for you to be able to reach in there and kind of saw back and forth as you slowly work it. You kind of want to use more sawing motion and less pulling up. That way you don't break it because this stuff isn't that strong. And it's just going to be a waste if you keep breaking it. But they give you plenty, so that's good. We'll see how actually strong this stuff is, because it's definitely cheap. And if you have a heat gun, you can heat up the adhesive. That'll help speed things up too. I might use it. I don't know. I'm kind of lazy right now, so I'll probably just give this a shot, see how well it works, and if it's not working very well, we'll heat it up. All right, so it's going to be easier if you start it with this before you actually throw the wire on there the first time. That way you can get the hole kind of started, and then you can feed the wire through on the second pass. So the way these things work, they're pretty simple. It helps you have a fresh cut end. If you have that fresh end, just insert in that hole at the bottom, slide the handle all the way down, and then you insert it up, and then there's a tiny little hole at the top. You're definitely not going to be able to see that at all, but you will if you actually get these things. Then you just slide the wire in through there, which is why you want a fresh cut, that way it's not frayed. And then you have it sticking out a little bit. And then when the handle slides up, locks it into place with pressure. Give this thing a go. So it broke, but it actually kind of makes it easier because I made the cable a little bit shorter now. So now I can actually get at it. That way I can actually get it halfway and then just reach across and do the rest. Because it was kind of getting to the point where it was too long. I really couldn't go anymore because I can't reach that far. But this thing actually cuts really surprisingly well. Pretty impressed with it. Definitely worth the 15 bucks and how much time this is going to save compared to like using a razor blade or something like that. Well, the camera died mid-sentence. I was rambling again anyway. But I'm going to grab the glass out and put it somewhere safe because I would like to reuse this glass. There's nothing wrong with it. And glass is expensive, just like everything else. So if I can save 150 bucks here, it's some more car parts. Did it without breaking it. That's what spare bedrooms are for, right? Just don't tell my wife. She won't notice. Yeah, my spare bedroom has definitely kind of become a car part storage because I ran out of room in my garage, and it's more important to have clutter in the house than in the garage, I suppose. Well, we can figure out how to remove the side windows now, and then the headliner, I guess. I'm just gonna pull the doors off now. I don't really feel like dealing with them anymore. It really sucks, like, finagling myself by. Yeah, it'll be nice to actually get in there without having the door in the way. And make sure before you pull the door off, you got to remove the little spring clip that's holding the door stopper open. All right, so right here, you'll see this little roll pin. You got to pull it out. You can either like push it from the side with like a screwdriver or something. But you got to remove it, and that's what keeps your door actually locked open. So when it's fully extended, you don't need it, but it's nice to have if the car is rolling around. You don't want to like close it on your leg. All right, so as you can see, this is where the nut goes. There's a hole in the back that is covered by the interior pieces, and it's really long and sticks out. It's kind of hard to notice. That's why they put this really long length so you can actually see it. But yeah, it's an 8mm. Just pull that off and this will come out. So don't break your clips trying to get this out. Not too bad. Surprisingly easy. So gotta get rid of the sun visors. Start taking the lights apart. Yeah, and some hooks and whatnot. And the headliner will pop out. And then I'll move on to the other side and remove the glass from the door. This is probably a super flattering angle right now. Watch me work. You know, one thing about doing everything on camera, it makes me a lot more conscious of leaving my mouth open and, you know, being a total mouth breather and having my tongue out. So that's a plus. Though when I'm really concentrating, it comes out. All right, headliner is out. I definitely got frustrated with it near the end, and I just started breaking clips. I'm not gonna lie though, it is trashed. That is the only reason that I did it. The interior, or the headliner, is pretty gross, and it's not really worth saving. Plus it was kind of already cracked and it's really dirty. So it's not really like it'd be worth giving away to somebody. I guess if they really needed it, it would be, and they could still use it if that's the case. But yeah, got that out. I'm not going to be pulling the sunroof today. I'm going to save that for another day because I just really don't feel like it. I'm going to move over to the other side, get that door and the other glass out. This side went so much faster, seriously. Definitely figured out the trick for using the wire tool. You want to keep tension on it the whole time because once you start using it, it wants to like bunch up. And as soon as it bunches up, it kind of kinks. And then the next time you use it, that's when it breaks. It's pretty strong if it can stay straight the whole time. So if you can keep some tension on it, like if you rest your arms or whatever, you're better off leaving a little bit of tension on it. Well, I'm going to start cleaning up, start putting some of the usable stuff that's still good, which is mostly everything, into some buckets. Hopefully I can find somebody with an RS that needs a whole bunch of interior pieces, because I really don't want this stuff to just go to waste, sit on my shelf or whatever, because I'm not going to use it. I don't have another RS. This thing obviously doesn't need to have an interior or can even have an interior. So if you know anybody, or if you're someone that needs interior pieces, let me know. I'll send it out to you. Just pay shipping. But yeah, I'm gonna start cleaning up and probably call it a night. Well, that was a great time to finish cleaning up because, as you probably saw, my wife showed up with ice cream, so it's a good time to end. Anyway, I'm really happy with the progress that I made on the car today. It's pretty much completely ready for me to start mocking up the cage, which will be great. I definitely hope that I can get the at least the main hoop in this weekend, like I said in the beginning of the video, just repeating myself. But I think tomorrow I'm going to start working on the pin stands. I don't know if I'm going to actually build the pin stands, but I'm going to at least build the part that goes into the car. So you put a hole through your rocker panel and you weld in some tube and some plate on both sides, and you got a really sturdy way to jack up your car and keep it from falling over. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching my videos. It definitely helps keep me motivated to keep making videos, that I'm not just wasting my time with these, because it definitely does add quite a bit of time to actually working on the car. But I enjoy making them, and you guys seem to enjoy them too, so I really appreciate that. But if you're new here and you haven't subscribed and you like what you see, let me know. Subscribe too if you want, and I appreciate your support. Have a good one, guys.